Sitting outside here in my backyard. Decided to come on this morning. Got my earbuds in. They look really weird. I'm doing that for the microphone because otherwise you just hear all birds. Is there anyone on right now? I see a couple people. Here we go. What's up, Deb? Good morning. DJ, Griselda. Hey, everyone. Good morning. Holding my phone. Hopefully it's not too flimsy here. I been battling a bad back for the last couple days. But it's starting to feel better today. So I put out a video last night, Alan Holdsworth, Pat Metheny, Alan Holdsworth comparison. I don't know how many of you watched it. Not that many people have watched it, but it's I think one of my best videos I've done. Yeah, it's what's up, China Mike? It's I can see how it's actually, I won't say why I don't do a lot of videos like this, but the fact that it got very few views affects my how YouTube pushes it out or doesn't push it out to people. Dennis, what's up? Good to see you. Morning. You know, the first few hours of the video coming out, thank you, David, that YouTube determines immediately whether it's something that's worth pushing out to people. So they don't actually push it out to all my subscribers, even people that want to see that the videos like that. If they don't get interest immediately, then YouTube doesn't push it out to people. I'm actually coming on here to tell people that they should watch it today because because it affects how my channel gets pushed. So now the videos that I come back with, I have to come back with videos that that will do well in order to have my channel stay relevant. Does that make sense? Engagement, initial engagement on the thing, and that makes me able to do more content like that and have YouTube push it out to more people. Because it's funny, one of my biggest videos is the double harmonic major scale video that is very esoteric and has 600,000 video views. That's because it got shared on We Are the Music Makers on, what's up, Larry? It got shared on that over on Reddit, and it got 600 upvotes, and people watched it, and people watch it that would never watch a video like that. And if this was shared on Reddit, it would do well. It would help the video a lot. So I don't come on and do this much, but those of you that haven't watched it, the first 24 hours is really crucial. I want to do more content like this. This is what I call my old school kind of video. And I'd like to be able to talk about Pat Metheny and Alan Holdsworth and have people watch it. And not just when Alan Holdsworth dies, which is the last time I did a video on Alan Holdsworth was 2 years ago. But those are the videos that really, I thought, made my channel different than other channels. So I want YouTube to think that these are important things to push out to people as well. Um, do quit making those videos. Oh, don't quit making those videos. Yeah. Um, I mean, it's really, really important for these kind of things to be talked about and on YouTube. And I think you're right, Deb. Those videos distinguish me. Um, and I want to do more material like that. Does it count if one person watched it multiple times? Yeah, every view counts. But I think they can tell unique visitors. But um, letters of marque from Holdsworth. You like that, Larry? Um, I was talking to my friend Keith earlier today, and he was saying that how I that he thought it was interesting that I made connections between things like that. That I heard when I heard the Holdsworth tune. First time I heard it, I said, "Oh, those chords are all um, those chords are all from the same scale." I just intuitively recognized that. Um, Rewatching the videos, views, they only care about views over there, so rewatching them is fine. That's totally fine. YouTube only cares about views, and they care about comments and reactions. But I would do more videos like that if they got views. I mean, to put it in perspective, my John Bonham video, when it came out, it was averaging 10,000 views an hour. This, uh, which was a simple video to make. Um, this video took all day to make, and it's getting 1,000 views an hour. So, um, and you know, I think it's important to tell people this stuff, um, because YouTube would push more videos like this if um, if they got views, they would push more of my videos like this. Um, Repeat views are fine too. Um, so I've been trying to once again. Um, yeah. So any of you that share your videos, like somebody shared, Gary the fireman shared my something on Reddit, and there's all these people trash talking me, which I think is hilarious. I enjoy it. But Gary was getting a little timid about this stuff. Uh, uh, the people that get on Reddit are it's pretty funny. They either what's up, chops? They either love me when I talk about their favorite bands, or they hate me for whatever reasons. You read the stuff; it's pretty entertaining. But I love trash talk. But you got to trash talk them back too, though. It looks so peaceful. It's very peaceful here. It's my backyard. I don't take the stuff personally when they're trash talking me. If they say something about my kids, uh, then I'll take. I um, there's a lot of people on Reddit. What did that just say? on Reddit who seem not to get what you're about. Very black or white on me. I know, it's pretty funny, right? Um, yeah, kids are off limits. It's usually Dylan. They'll be saying something about whatever. But what are you gonna do? You know, I um, I don't take it. I don't take it to heart. I think it's funny. But I would post more videos like this if they got viewed. Um, how'd I come up with the Holdsworth Metheny thing? There's my brother John wanting me to tell everyone that was his idea. So John did give me the idea. He gave me the title, and he told me that I was saying I was going to do a video on Holdsworth, and he said, "Why don't you do a video on Metheny and Holdsworth because uh, they're so different, and and a lot more people would be interested in that if you made a connection between them." And then instantly I thought, oh, and then I just thought about that the Dorian scale. I thought about that tune about I thought about how they use a lot of similar chord voicings that people don't realize. Not just the E over C chord, but those chords in the top four strings. And and letters uh letters to Mark was that just popped into my head because that was done over a pedal. Um and it and I thought about Metheny playing a lot of those same chord shapes, exact same chord shapes, and and I hadn't thought about the IOU record. I mean, I've listened to it recently. I listened to the LP. Um, my brother said harmonically very similarly, they just don't sound the same. Exactly. Well, just that they're both modal scales, just one scale with a open pedal note, but they're just two different types of scales. Alan, the harmonic major scale is a scale that Alan soloed in a lot, and he played a lot of chord voicings out of that scale. And Pat, I mean, frankly, Pat knows all those same scales too, and used all the Pat's harmonic knowledge is easily as vast as Alan, and Pat's ability to um, is second to no one really. Somebody said, "Oh, neither of these guys know harmony," or probably think like they know harmony. It's like that's totally not true. Both these guys know harmony as well as incredibly well. What's up, Tom? I like it, Tom. I'm on in the morning. Is Metheny still difficult to interview? Well, I haven't been able to. He's not difficult for some people, and I'm not sure that Gary Burton will be of any help on that front. Um, and my brother John just said that Pat is different guitar sounds. Pat has incredible harmonic theory, and you could say better at pure melody. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, uh, Lyrical melody, although angular melody, I like. Although Pat can play very angular melodies too. It's just a different kind of thing. They're linear concept, but their linear concept is not as. It, Pat's is really when he plays outside, he's always got chord changes he's playing over. Where Alan will play more intervals and scales, intervallic, but within one scale idea or connecting scales. Alan thinks more scalar, but yet he doesn't play more scalar. Um, hey, Peter. Uh, but when it comes to the actual chord voicings they use, once again, very similar. Pat doesn't do as many of the stretches, but Pat does some pretty big stretches too. A few of those voicings. I mean, I don't really think any of those Alan voicings. I mean, for me, they're not hard to play. What's up, Clayton? I tell you, the only hard thing to do, and I don't know if this is, I don't know if your fingers get a little fatter as you get older, or maybe I need to lose some weight in my fingers. But when I get up to the 15th fret and I try and put my second and third finger in the same fret, it didn't seem to be as difficult as before. It seemed like it was much easier to fit my fingers um, in the same fret. I tried it on a couple different guitars. So I started playing. I picked up the hollow body PRS that I got, and that was too loud acoustically and would be picked up because I just have a stereo mic out in front of the amp in front of me, about 5 feet from me, that's picking up the amp in the room. Um, so I was playing it and it was like, oh, this is not really balanced at all for this. And then I thought, well, Alan used to play an SG. That was his first guitar that he played. So let me try the SG, and I tried the SG, and it just perfectly spoke. Um, Peter, it's not your fingers that age, just the rest of your body, right? Peter, I swear that my those two fingers, maybe it's I couldn't get the right angle on them. I mean, I got it, but it's hard. It's hard to get those two fingers in the same fret up at the 15th fret and above. I can't do that, and I can't bar it either. I can't. My fingertips not big enough to actually hit both strings. What's interesting is that uh, some of these chords Alan would play, but he doesn't. But he doesn't play every note of the chord, but he will finger every note of the chord. So in case I think he hits a bum note, that it would that then the chord would come out, because when he's playing that chord melody. Okay, VA, you have skinny hands. It's hard for you. Okay. Um, I do have a pretty good stretch. Um, Angus, yeah, Zappa, Allman, Young, and what about Derek Trucks, Tony Iommi? Come on, Derek Trucks. That's one of the biggest SG players. But Alan played an SG. If you look at the Soft Machine pictures, he was playing. Um, he was playing those. The Les Paul, as I was telling my friend Keith this morning, the 61 through 65 or so. So Peter just said, you need those long fingers, slender fingers like Pasquale Grasso. So Peter had sent me this video, Peter Smart. Um, Peter sent me this video just seeing if I'd heard of Pasquale Grasso, and which I had, because I had read in a Pat Metheny interview a few years ago that he was Pat's favorite guitar player, and he's phenomenal. There's not that many videos. Peter, the video that you sent me is one that I hadn't seen before. He does not have that much stuff up on the internet, or at least the last time that I looked was probably 6 months ago or so. But his lines are so flowing. He's one of the best bebop players I've heard, and his chord work is unbelievable. Peter, those he plays those chord runs so quickly that it's really mind-boggling. He also does octaves so fast where he's fingering the notes. Um, it's pretty amazing. So you guys should check him out. Um, Pasquale Grasso. My brother John says Alan was never satisfied with his own playing. Kind of sad. Metheny has tremendous commercial success. Alan really was never appreciated by anyone but guitar players. That is actually really that's really true. I think that Alan was I don't think Alan was appreciated by anyone other than guitar players. Uh, Obviously, Pat was appreciated by, but I mean, you could say that about. I'm trying to think of other guitar players. Quick fingers need a quick brain. That's right, Peter. They do. Uh, yeah, yeah, Larry. Pasquale Grasso has a pinky that has a brain of its own. I know, right? He has the longest fingers. He's so smooth, and you know what's really interesting is that uh, he combines the sweep technique, and he's so fluid with it. That's the thing, is that his right hand is incredibly relaxed. I think it helps too that I believe he sits like a classical guitarist and plays off his left leg. Is that right, Peter? Do you guys know, or Larry? Does he play off his left leg? I think he does. Um, he does, yeah, because he is so relaxed with his playing. Um, Rick Graham plays that way. Does Rick actually play that way? I think he does. Pat had a lot of music that appealed to people that are non-musicians. Um, he plays off his left leg steady classical guitar since he was a kid. Um, so what's up, Subi? Morning man, live on day. There you go. I went to the word is crap. Plays like classical. Yes. Yeah. I spoke with a guitar player, fantastic guitar player from Australia last night that I follow on Instagram, Stephen uh, Taranto, his name is. He is just a phenomenal guitar player. He's 30 years old. He plays really interesting intervallic lines and has unbelievable chops, but really hip lines. Um, and when he plays, I get tendonitis watching him. But he says he doesn't really have problems because he doesn't play every day. So, um, but yeah, he is a great player, and Pasquale Grasso, those long fingers, and Steven plays classical style as well, where they can play way up high, and I mean that's really the ideal way to play. If you can get the guitar up here, if you think about it, it's a lot easier to get the index finger to stretch back. When I learned, so I started on cello, and when you go back into half position here, you extend your index finger. So when I went to the guitar, that was very uh, natural for me to do, to play those kind of voicings. I was always used to playing with that index finger way out like that. So any of those Holdsworth voicings to me were actually pretty easy to play. Um, and Even I had to refresh myself on that tune. I hadn't played it in 40 years or so, but but it came back. Even the stretches, the one of the voicings that's at the 6th fret and the 11th fret. But but if you play in classical position, you're playing off your left leg. I should probably do a video on this. Uh, it's far easier to do extended positions. Way easier. No comparison at all. One of the problems is that when you're sitting this way, um, so as you move and put the guitar on the left leg, your elbow, you're already here, way up at the top of the neck, and your arm is not even close to your body. So now, granted, you have to reach further. Granted, you have to reach further for the upper positions, but uh, but I think it's I think that it's yeah, I think it's a superior way to play, really, I think it will extend your. I think it would relieve a lot of problems. Peter just said Segovia style. Yeah, I think it would relieve a lot of tendonitis problems that people have actually playing off the left leg, classical style. So definitely something to think about. I know when I, it's funny because when I do certain videos, like when I'll do stuff on Instagram, for example, I when people do Instagram videos and they don't have their head in the video, it looks weird. So when I'm doing an Instagram video, I'll play on my Dan Electro, and I'll always bring the guitar up higher than I normally would have it, and a lot of times play off that leg. And it's so that I can fit my head in. I want my head to be in the shot. I just do not like. Um, I don't like. What's up, Rhett? I don't like to see videos with people with their heads cut off. When you see the biggest Instagram people like Mateus Asado, he uses a regular camera. I don't think he's using his phone for this because he has his entire head in the videos, yet you can see the whole guitar and it's up close. So there's definitely a way to shoot it. You know, Rhett, I think, Rhett, weren't you shooting? Didn't you do some Instagram videos with where you were turning your camera sideways? Clayton, your head takes up too much space. Um, I think weren't you the one telling me that? Where, yeah, Lee said, yeah, that's right. Headless videos are always weird. I honestly, I can't watch people that do that. Rick Graham's the only person that can do that. That I will watch. Um, Tom, so you're big eye. Okay, you learned piano style chords. You didn't know any better. That's actually how Alan did too. Is that Alan said that he learned chords off the piano from his dad, I think. Um, you can use a real camera by turning it 90 degrees. You did that, right, Rhett? Didn't you tell me you did some Instagram videos like that where you turned your camera sideways? Thank you, SB. But the same thing will get across if you um, too much zinc is a baby. The same thing will get across. Wait, yes, when you change the aspect ratio in your edit software. Martin Taylor's using a classical style now. I did not notice that, Peter. I think that I want to say that Joe Pass did, honestly, later on. Alan always held his guitar very high too. He did. Um, why don't I make a solo CD? I have a solo CD. I have a solo CD. I should make a solo guitar CD. I will at some point. I have to. I need to. Um, I think I need to just get a sound that I have mic'd up. Um, that sounds good. The and find the right guitar player. Or I'm right to guitar to play. I mean, and it might be the SG even. I'm not sure. Wait, squash it, Clayton. Squash it to 4.3 rather than 16.9. Yeah, Joe could play staying on his head, Peter said. You know, Peter, my brother John and I were talking about this morning, talking about guitarists that changed guitar. And he said Alan, Pat Metheny, Joe Pass, and then we were trying to figure out more. And I said Frank Gambale because he influenced because of the sweep picking influenced a whole generation of guitar players like that. And then John was saying that Frank's not well known enough. And Eddie Van Halen, but just want to watch new video. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so this was my plea to get people to go watch my video, so YouTube will push it harder to people. The SG is a cream puff. That's right. What I find impossible is using the thumb for chording. Know how to do it. You know, I use chording. I use my thumb for chording all the time. John will tell you that our mom, our incredible mom, she used her thumb for chording. She used to play her G chord. She would grab her thumb and put it over there and block the A string and just play and she would play it with two fingers. She played G chord like that, just with her index finger on the high G and her thumb on the low G. And my mom did not have big hands, but she was able to do that because that's how her dad did it, and deaden the A string. And I always laughed about that. Um, and Metheny does that a lot, uses the thumb for chording all the time. But I think that gets more difficult with age as well. Obviously, Hendrix did it too. Kenny Burrell and Barney Kessel, yeah, those guys. Barney Kessel had incredibly long fingers, though, Peter. Really long fingers. It was very easy when you watch him play. He had incredibly fast chord work. Really fast chord work and very clean. You know, it's interesting. Tel Farlow was never the cleanest guitar player, but had such interesting lines. I want to say that Tel Farlow used economy picking, sweep picking, where he'd do multiple downstrokes, things like that. But some of the most interesting lines, and somebody that no one talks about anymore. I never hear people talk about Tel Farlow. I don't know why. I have a bunch of Tel Farlow records. I'm going to listen to some Tel today. But Hendrix could play D flat minor 7 with his thumb. Nothing wrong with a thumb over the neck. Yeah. Try C69 with a thumb, index finger wrapped around. It looked pretty funny. Did Wes sweep with his thumb? He absolutely did. He absolutely did. So who was a big influence on McLaughlin? Are you saying that that Tel Farlow was? Interesting. Rick Beato guitar CD. Sometime. Well, I'm going to Italy for 10 days, and I've got to get a bunch of extra videos done to release that week. If I don't put out videos, you know how YouTube is. You guys don't know how YouTube is, but basically my channel grinds to a halt. Yeah, Tel Farlow Peter had incredibly long fingers. Yeah, I got my hair cut yesterday, by the way. Larry Coryell had long fingers too. John McLaughlin had long fingers. Metheny doesn't have that big of a hand. You know, honestly, Holdsworth hands, I've shook hands with him a bunch of times. I don't think his hands were that much bigger than you think. Next album's going to be my White Album. Yeah, if I don't put stuff out, it will get my channel will literally grind to a halt. YouTube does not push any old videos at all. Only the videos that have a lot of views they keep pushing. Even then, I've got videos with my son Dylan with 1.5 million views that gets 200 views a day, whereas this audio fooled video is gets 3,000 a day. That's got 1.4 million or so. My Field of Dreams video, that was just that 29,000 views, 30,000 views. That's what I had hoped this video would do, but it's done even more poorly. But the quality of this video is, it's amazing. I can do a John Bonham video right now. Okay, it's John Bonham, but a video that takes me 2 hours to do. That's a very simple concept, and it's, you know 250,000 views. And this video takes me all day to do. Not all day, but it's a long, because I have to figure out what the angle is. And then I've got to go and listen to, I had to go back and try to find the Metheny thing. And then I said, oh no, I can't use this in here. I can't use I can't use the Holdsworth thing in there. So I had to go back and listen to that and relearn the rhythm of the picking part and stuff. Um, then you have to do the tab on it, and it's like making records, VA. Exactly. This is exactly what making videos like these kind of videos like yesterday. So this is a high information, low view count, but high value video, which is why I make these ones. Whereas the what makes us sound great are uh, high effort videos too. They take a long time to make. But the Bonham video got more views than the Rush video. The Rush video took 3 times as long, 4 times as long to make. I mean, the video yesterday, you got to compose the piece. So I got finished with the piece, and I realized I was watching it with Billy, my new assistant, that I forgot one of the modes. So the um, the mode I forgot, I did 6 of the 7 modes. I forgot melodic minor sharp 4. More clickbait. That's right, Peter. I couldn't clickbait that Metheny Holdsworth thing. There's no way to clickbait that. Um, so I had to go in. My wife's calling me, yeah, come up for dinner. I said, no, I forgot one of the modes. I got to write a piece and fit it in. Then I had to figure out what key to do it in, because each of the modes were connected by different keys. I chose them from the harmonic major scale, um, and I had gone from Phrygian flat 3 to mixed flat 2, I think it was, and I forgot the melodic minor sharp 4. So I was like, oh my gosh! So I had to compose it, play it, do the strings behind it, and then make it work with the edit and put the video over it. Um, it's great when you put out more comics video and say it's covered in the Beata book. You think, oh yeah, it's actually in there. That's pretty funny, right? So, so that video is an incredible amount of effort. Um, but ultimately, I can tell you guys know I read every comment, and people test me on this stuff. They say, "Oh, Rick doesn't read every." I always say, well, I know you'll never read this comment. I always comment on those. Um, so yeah, pretty funny, right? Uh, uh, every comment. So I read every comment on the new video, and I read the comments to see. I'm always curious to see people's. Honestly, the first things I do is I always read the first comments to see if I have if there's a problem with the video, if there's something that happened during upload, uh, if there is a typo, something like that. Um, the views matter a bit when it's your full-time job. That's right. Who said Thanos? The views don't matter. They do matter. They actually do matter when it's your full-time job, because I make a living. Not really. I can't make a living from I can't make a living from the views. The money has trickled down to almost nothing on the views. It's unbelievable. It's half of what it was in December because of all the. I had 5 videos copyright strikes yesterday, 5 more. They're just going through every single video. When I mention the name of something, they just do it, and it's not worth fighting for it. It's not worth. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be Adam Neely, and I will help Adam. I will help Paul Davids, all my friends that are dealing with this stuff, and I'll make these videos about YouTube and about blocking and things like that. It's important to do that, and I don't believe in blocking because that's censorship. But I think that the demonetization, there's nothing you can do about. My friend Jake that works for a major label. He said that the labels are making a fortune, more money than they've ever made. They don't have to deal with breakage of CDs, returns, nothing like that. There's no cost in making anything, and there's no distribution costs. They're making more money than they ever were, but less money is trickling down to musicians and writers. And they found that going after YouTubers is very easy money because the YouTubers cannot fight it, and YouTube does nothing to help it. And that's just the ball game. So I rely on traffic from my videos to have people go to my store and buy T-shirts, buy my book, buy my coffee mugs. I mean, that's it. Um, and when I don't do videos that perform well, I get less subscribers. And when I get less subscribers, less people go into my store and buy things. Joe, high value videos will assist in acquiring more people that are interested in music. That can be interested in monetization. That's true. Um, the the sad thing is that all the people that were brought to my channel originally, that for my high information videos that I did at first, those videos never get pushed unless they have high view count. They still get pushed. Some of them do, but very few do. So the you have to look at it like this. Back in and I thank you for everyone that has bought things. I know all of you have bought things from the store and my book and everything, and I appreciate that immensely. You don't know how much. I know all the people on this channel get it. But think of it like this. Back in all the way up until the year 2000, all the big pop acts paid for all the jazz and classical on the records. Okay. Um, uh, Bruce Springsteen, who was on Columbia Records and would sell millions and millions of records, paid for Miles Davis records, paid for whoever, Sting on A&M records would pay for, whoever. All the pop acts, rock acts would pay, would the money, the labels had money to make jazz records. They had the money to develop, they had the money to develop jazz and classical acts. So that, it's the same thing on YouTube, is that my big videos are what get people to watch those other videos. And people that would get, I mean, when I read comments saying, I would never watch a video like this. I watched this and I don't understand anything about what you said, but I love the video. VA, I recommend your channel. Anyone is interested in guitar and music people. Problem is, people are busy with family and other stuff. Yeah. Miles spent it on Ferraris. He did. He to me, 20% to you. I'm retired from producing, Peter. So anyways, that's about all I have to say on this. You guys are the best. Watch my video if you haven't seen it yet. And Peter, okay, lay off the tell me about your songs here. This is what people get bugged at on Reddit, because when I block people, they go and tell Rick on his other channel is such a jerk, uh, which I think is incredibly funny. But you guys are the best. Peter's getting the hammer. No, I didn't give him the hammer. Yeah, so watch the Holdsworth Metheny video if you get a chance. I appreciate it. Can't wait for 1 million subscribers. I know it's